We got another big win in the courts today on the side of objective truth and fairness for women and girls in sports and education. As you may have seen, President Biden and his administration backdoored this rule change that literally destroyed the intention of Title IX by inserting the term gender identity alongside the word sex in Title IX. So, as you may know, Title IX was passed by Congress over 50 years ago out of a recognition of the biological differences between men and women and boys and girls, and seeking to level the playing field for women and girls in sports and education. Fast forward to where we are today, not going through Congress. Yet again, President Biden has tried to change the law of Title IX by redefining it in a way that directly undermines the intention of Title IX in the first place: fairness and women for girls in sports and education. So we had a ruling from one federal judge a couple of days ago that said in 4 different states there was a stay on President Biden's rule change. Well, another federal judge just ruled today, applying to 6 additional states, that President Biden's Title IX rule change would not be able to go into effect. I'm going to read a couple of the comments from this judge because I think he hits it really on the head, where he says, at bottom, the department would turn Title IX on its head by redefining sex to include gender identity. But sex and gender identity do not mean the same thing. The department's interpretation conflicts with the plain language of Title IX and therefore exceeds its authority to promulgate regulations under that status. He's exactly right. This is Judge Reeves who commented on this. He also said that the rule would mandate that schools, quote, permit biological men into women's intimate spaces and women into men's within the educational environment based entirely on a person's subjective gender identity. This result is not only impossible to square with Title IX, but the broader guarantee of education protection for all students. He also pointed out rightly the First Amendment implications of President Biden's rule change. Quote, Judge Reeves says, the rule includes a new definition of sexual harassment, which may require educators to use pronouns consistent with a student's purported gender identity rather than their biological sex. Based on the pervasive nature of pronoun usage in everyday life, educators likely would be required to use students' preferred pronouns, regardless of whether doing so conflicts with the educator's religious or moral beliefs. A rule that compels speech and engages in such viewpoint discrimination is impermissible. End of quote. This is a mic drop by Judge Reeves. He makes the argument against President Biden's rule change, undermining Title IX, but against this entire effort to force our society to accept this woke agenda and trans ideology that the Biden administration is trying to push on everyone. This is not about, this ultimately is about free speech. It's about fairness, and it's about equality. Judge Reeves said it very well. Kudos to you, Judge. Let's keep lifting up our voices. This is such an important issue. It has far-reaching implications, far beyond Title IX, when you have an administration that rejects the existence of objective truth. Let's go.